Welcome to Balderdash Academy After Hours. I am your headmaster, Bob LeBlanc. Joining me is coach of the Balderdash Academy Dashers, Steve Corning.
Let's go, Dashers.
Head of Home Ec and Wellness, Marie Stewart-Harmon.
Glad to be back.
Head of English Language Arts, Molly McGill.
What time is it? Jeez.
Our current reigning champion, Head of Guidance, Mr. Nate Green.
Ahoy, hoy.
And joining us in this After Hours is our visiting professor, Dr. Hal Cohen.
Ovid sucks.
Yeah.
Does.
Yeah. Agreed.
The Balderdash Randomizer has chosen. Tonight's topic is, once again, sex. So we will play a game called Sex With Me. What we're going to do is we're going to grab a topic, and then we're going to tell you how sex with us is like that topic. So, Hal, let's start in the kitchen. Could you give us a vegetable?
Tomato.
Tomato.
Or tomato.
Sex with me is like a tomato, juicy if you squeeze me too hard.
Sex with me is like a tomato. If you poke it in the right spot, it squirts out.
Sex with me is like a tomato. You may call it a beefsteak, but it's not very pretty.
Sex with me is like a tomato. You have to hit it at the right time or it's just gonna be a sloppy mess.
Sex with me is like a tomato because someone is always spitting out the seeds.
Sex with me is like a tomato. Molly wants it as part of her last meal.
Sex with me is like a tomato, tasteless since the late 80s.
Sex with me is like a tomato. I only like them if they're firm.
Sex with me is like a tomato, always best when you put it right next to bacon.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hal, give us another topic.
French cooking.
Ooh.
Sex with me is like French cooking. It's better if it involves heavy cream.
Sex with me is like French cooking. Ne touche pas.
Sex with me is like French cooking. Once you're done, you're toast. Because French toast.
I got it. Sex with me is like French cooking. I only do it if it's rich.
Sex with me is like French cooking. Start with a stick of butter.
Okay, Paula Dean.
Add 4 more.
Sex with me is like French cooking. It sounds more appetizing than it really is.
French with me is like French cooking because there's so many damn calories.
I don't.
Sex with me is like French cooking. By the end, it'll remind you of Julia Childs.
Sex with me is like French cooking. Afterwards, you just want to sit there and rub your stomach because it just doesn't feel right.
Hal, what's another topic?
Marsupials.
Oh, yeah.
Marsupials.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Sex with me is like a marsupial. I'm going to be putting a baby in your pouch.
Wow. Wow.
You went right for it.
Sex with me is like marsupials. I'm going to be going down under.
Wow.
Sex with me is like a marsupial, most often seen in a cage.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Think about it.
Wow.
Maybe she likes
Sex
it.
with me is like a marsupial. It works better if you're jumping up and down.
Sex with me is like a marsupial. It's mostly extinct.
Sex with me is like a marsupial. There's lots of snuggling.
Oh.
Sex with me is like a marsupial. If you get too close, you might get kicked in the face. I mean,
Yeah,
some marsupials do that.
Hal, how about one more?
Uh,
How about an appliance?
appliances. Steve's earmuffs.
Nice.
Sex with me is like Steve's earmuffs, really sweaty.
Sex with me is like Steve's earmuffs. It's all defined by head.
Sex with me is like Steve's earmuffs. It's better when you expand it.
Sex with me is like Steve's earmuffs. Kind of stanky.
Sex with me is like Steve's earmuffs. It doesn't work unless you plug it in.
Sex with me is like Steve's earmuffs. I look really odd when I have them on.
We'll workshop that one out.
Sex with me is like Steve's earmuffs. Optional.
Sex with me is like Steve's earmuffs. They only go in one position.
Sex with me is like Steve's earmuff. They make my nose look bigger.
Sex with me is like Steve's earmuffs. It sounds better than it is.
Oh!
Yes.
Sex with me is like Steve's ear muffs. They need to be plugged in or battery operated.
Sex with me is like Steve's earmuffs. They're soft in all the right places and hard where they need to be.
Nice.
Nice. Yep.
Sex with me is like Steve's earmuffs. He can have it anytime he wants.
Thank you, Nate. Why don't you text my girlfriend and tell her that?
She texted me that. I just read it.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel
Sex
weird.
with me is like Steve's earmuffs, often used while gaming.
That sounds nice. That sounds nice.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You want to try another person, place, or book?
Sure. Mahatma Gandhi.
You want to try another person, place, or book?
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob.
Lloyd Bridges.
Sex with me is like Lloyd Bridges. I was in everything in the 80s. Sorry, Marie.
Sex with me is like Lloyd Bridges. If you're under the age of 30, you don't know about it. I don't know who Lloyd Bridges is.
Shall we do one more, or should we call it a night?
One more.
You want person,
right.
place? Okay. What about
What a film.
a film? A film. What about The Sting? No, something modern.
Maybe that might help me and Marie.
Yes, I got this. What about Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle? How about that?
Okay. Sex with me is like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. You're pretty hungry after.
Yeah.
You just are.
Sex with me is like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. Halfway through the night, Neil Patrick Harris will show up.
If only.
Sex with me is like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. It can spawn a Christmas special.
That's how your kids were born. It's a Christmas special.
Sex with me is like Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Eventually, it can lead to a job working with President of the United States.
That can seem like a threat now.
Not sure if that's what you want on your resume.
Sex with me, it's not very good. Sex with me is like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. I prefer to get in the car first.
Sex with me is like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. It's polarizing. You either love it or you hate it.
Sex with me is like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. It's not great, but if you're stoned, it's totally fine.
You want to finish it off with an easy one?
Sure.
Which is also appropriate for the name of this game?
No.
We can do Hal Cohen.
What did Amanda say?
She said Jaws.
Jaws.
No, okay, then Jaws 2. Jaws 2.
Jaws 2?
Yes.
All right.
Sex with me is like Jaws 2, disappointing. Sex with me is like Jaws 2, usually done for the money. Sorry, go
sex
on.
with me is Sex with me is like Jaws 2. You're always at risk of a bite.
Sex with me is like Jaws 2. It was better the first time.
Sex with me is like Jaws 2. It still looks like we're going to need a bigger boat.
Sex with me is like Jaws 2. Shit, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sex with me is like Jaws 2. It will remind you of fish.
Sex with me is like Jaws 2. It would have been better with Betty Davis.
Any others for Jaws?
I had a great one.
Wait, Sex with Me is like Jaws 2. You're gonna phone it in.
E.T.
Sex with me is like Jaws 2. It only existed because it was contractually obligated.
That's good.
Sex with me is like Jaws 2. The reviews are not so good.
Sex with me is like Jaws 2. Would have been better filmed by Spielberg. Sex with me is like Jaws 2. They blow the shark at the beginning.
Sex with me is like Jaws 2. If you punch me in the gills, I stop.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have heard that about you.
Sex with me is like Jaws 2. Violent, but a lot of fun to participate in.
Sex with me is like Jaws 2. You just need to throw in a little chum.
That's it for Balderdash Academy After Hours. Thank you to our visiting professor, Dr. Hal Cohen. Thank you to Head of Home Ec and Wellness, Marie Stewart Harmon.
Thank you, Headmaster.
The coach of the Balderdash Academy Dashers, Steve Corning.
Thank you guys so much.
Head of English Language Arts, Molly McGill.
I stay up this late every night. It's fine.
And our reigning champion, once again, our reigning champion, Head of Guidance, Mr. Nate Green.
Keep your gills above water. Wait, no, that would be bad.
Remember to like and subscribe to this video. Remember to check out our website for merchandise or to just help support the show. It's been a lot of fun. We'll see you next week.
Look, we don't have lie detectors, all right? I almost just said nail detectors. Look, we don't have lie detectors, all right? We are way too broke for that. All we have is our keen intuition, which honestly kind of blows when it comes to figuring out if Molly's lying or not. Can you spot her tells? Find out in the next nail-biting bonus episode of Balderdash Academy.
Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. You can find us on your favorite podcast service as Balderdash Academy. Go Dashers!